I do, and if you love homemade bread too, but you're out of milk and eggs, you're in luck, because this recipe is a yummy, light, and fluffy homemade bread recipe that doesn't use eggs or milk. Hi, I'm Shelly from Frugal Family Home, where we make quick tutorials to build your cooking and baking confidence. And today I want to show you how easy it is to make your own homemade light and fluffy bread, all without milk or eggs. So let's get started and I'll show you how easy it is to make. Okay, first we start with some warm water, and this water needs to be about 120 degrees. And to that we're going to add our yeast, and we're just going to add it to our water and then give it a stir just to incorporate it. And then we're going to let it proof for about 5 minutes, and it'll get a little foamy and bubbly. It's already starting on the top. To a large bowl, we're going to add 2 cups of flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, and we're going to give that a stir. Just want to mix those dry ingredients just a little bit. And next we're going to drizzle our oil into the flour mixture. And then we have our yeast water mixture, and it's a little foamy on top, and so we're going to add that to our bowl too. And now we're just going to give it a stir to start incorporating it. And then we'll use the mixer to blend it just for a couple of minutes to get it mixed well. And now we're just going to continue to add flour, about a cup at a time, and then just stir that in until it gets too thick for us to stir it with a spoon. And then we will knead in the rest of the flour to make a nice firm bread dough. And you'll just repeat the process, put a cup in, stir. The total amount of flour you'll use will depend on the humidity in your area. Sometimes I've had some people tell me that with this recipe in a very dry climate, they only use about 5 cups of flour. Here where I live, it's more humid, so we end up using about 6 to 7 cups of flour. Okay, at this point it's getting a little gloppy and hard to stir, so I'm going to use my hands to mix in some more of the flour. So instead of stirring it in, I'm just going to put it into the bowl, and then I'm just going to go ahead and use my hands to kind of turn it over, and this part's a little bit messy, but it's not bad. Just to incorporate that flour, so we don't want our dough really sticky when we take it over to a floured surface to knead the dough. We don't want it sticking all over the board. We want to get as much flour incorporated to still have a nice dough without it being sticky. You don't want to add so much flour that it's dry and crumbly, because at that point you need to add more water if it's too dry and crumbly. It's kind of a balance. The more you do this, the more you'll get used to the texture you want. And it's not really too hard. You just don't want it sticky. Like right now, it's not sticking to my hands, but it's not dry and crumbly. So it's just about perfect as this. So let's go take it to the board and we'll knead it. And now we just need to knead our dough until it's nice and smooth. We'll just continue on doing this. So you just want to kind of turn, fold, push away. Turn, fold, push away. And that's all it is, all it takes to knead your dough. As you feel the dough getting a little sticky, you'll just sprinkle a little flour on it and then just keep on kneading until it's nice and smooth. Okay, so our dough is nice and smooth and been kneaded, and it's pretty firm. So now what we need to do is to move this to a bowl. And I have a nice big bowl here, and I'm just going to drizzle it with a little bit of oil and rub the oil around in the bowl just like that. And then what we'll do is we're going to take our dough, put it in, give it a spin, flip it over. We're just trying to coat the dough with oil. Then we're going to cover it with a towel and let it rise for about an hour in a warm spot. Okay, our bread dough has risen for an hour, And this is what it looks like. If you put 2 fingers in, it holds the shape. And so now it's time for us to punch it down. And then we're just going to cut it in half. Okay, so then we have our dough here. And we're going to shape it into a loaf. I usually put a little bit of flour on the board just to make it easier. And you just want to pat it out about the size of your loaf pan here. And then what I do is I just roll it up and tuck the ends in. And then we have our greased pan here, and we'll put it in there and we'll let it rise until it's double, and we'll repeat the same thing for our second loaf. And here's our loaves. They're all risen now, and now it's time to put them in the oven and bake them at 350 for about 30 to 35 minutes until they're golden brown on top and a little hollow when you tap on them. And here is our bread all done. When you tap it, sounds hollow inside, and we'll let it sit in the pan for just a few minutes, and then we'll take it out and cool it on a rack and slice it up and enjoy some. And that's it. That's how you can make your own homemade bread without milk or eggs. Just things in your pantry. And if you want the full printable recipe, look for the link in the description. And if you don't subscribe to our channel yet, hit that subscribe button and be sure to click the bell if you want to be notified when we have new videos available. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.